If you've ever caught yourself saying, I only date toxic people, I'm only attracted to toxic people are only attracted to me, this video might be for you. See, I always thought I was only ever going to be able to date toxic people. And I know some people say, okay, well, I'm only attracted to toxic people. That's just like their type. And then for a long time, I was like, it's my father wound. That's what it is. It's because my father was so bad that that's all I'm ever going to attract is people who are like my father. That's what it is. But I have a new theory. I think I know why I've only ever attracted toxic people. And I think I know how to correct that problem in my life now. For the record, I am currently single, so I cannot confirm or deny that this theory is correct. But also, side note, please don't mind my hair. I was not planning on filming today. Today's like my deep clean, get my life back together day, so this was very impromptu. But if you're new here, my name is Kinsey. I have no consistent schedule, consistent niche. It's just whatever I feel like talking about over here. I am trauma informed. I do work for domestic violence advocacy. That's all I got. Anyway. Oh, and I've been through a lot of crazy shit. And I base 90% of my content off of that. But, so I used to think that because my dad was so bad, for lack of better terms, because my dad was so shitty my childhood, that maybe that was why I was only ever going to date bad men. For context, my father went to prison when I was 5 or 6 for killing someone drunk driving. Prior to that, he was an alcoholic, in and out of jail, always drunk, always doing cocaine, very abusive toward me, my brother, and my mom. A lot of daddy issues. So kind of just assumed that was why I dated shitty men. And I was like, that's just how I'm always going to be. I don't think I was far off, but I do think that I was a little bit just pessimistic about that, right? Like, oh, yeah, well, I get to date shitty men my whole life now. Like, that's just how it is. And I think a part of that was because my mom also had really poor taste in men. So I was like, yeah, but I just inherited that gene from her. And then when I was a teenager, my first legitimate boyfriend, after you know how we all have that first boyfriend, that first trial boyfriend that we have. Yeah, I had my first boyfriend who was he came from a broken home too, but it is what it is. Nothing was that bad. But my first legitimate boyfriend was really bad. It was really, really bad. Mom ended up sending me away on a Greyhound bus when I was 16 by myself, mind you, to make sure that I didn't get back together with him, which didn't work because I ended up getting back together with him and having babies with him, so did not work. He was very much like my father, to a T, to a freaking T. He was a drug addict. I remember vividly one time we got into a fight and he had a bottle of blue curacao. Why he had that, I don't know. I don't even think we were 21 at that time. I was 18. He was 19. Don't even know where he got that. And every time we would fight, he would, just to make me mad, go and chug this bottle. And he's already on other drugs, right? And he just went to chug it. And I had it in my hand, trying to get it away from him. And we were wrestling on the floor. And I was holding it, and he tried to pull it the other way, and the cap twisted off, and it dumped all over me. So to this day, I hate the smell of that liquor. Another time, this is a trigger warning because it's severe domestic violence. This is the one time he did try to end my life. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in here. I might take it out because we're 5 minutes in and I'm already telling this story. The one time we were living in his parents' basement, and I went to go make my son a bottle, and I found drug residue on the counter where I make my son's bottle. I went out to confront him where he was working on, he had an old car that he was working on. It was a 1978 Jaguar in the garage he was working on. And I went to confront him, and he was just sitting in the car, just completely, he was on very hard drugs, mind you. It wasn't like he just smoked. He was on a lot of very, very hard drugs. But all of a sudden, he moved real quick, put me in a headlock on his lap, and let the blood drip on my face, and held a box to my throat, and asked why he shouldn't do it, meaning why he shouldn't kill me right there. And I didn't have a reason. I had my son in the other room, but like I could not form words. I was just like, you got me, I don't know. Like, this life's not fun with you. Needless to say, he was very much like my father. He ended up going to prison, not for the same thing my father did. He ended up going to prison for armed robbery because he got involved with a gang, which he was in rehab. He cheated on me with a girl he was in rehab with, which we got pregnant with my second son while he was in rehab. So he got out. Now he's back in prison for attempted homicide. He shot someone over drugs. So very much like my father. After him, I dated my twin's father. I'm going to be careful what I say about them other than what is public record because I don't want to get sued. We were in a 4-year relationship, very toxic, very unhealthy. I tried to fix him. He had a very, very, from my perspective, from what I experienced, from my opinion, from what I witnessed, very severe drinking problem. Beginning, like, we drank together, but then I ended up stopping drinking because I was like, our kids need a sober parent. Not that I like had a drinking problem, but I would just like drink with him on the weekend. I would have a couple White Claws, like, you know, or if we would go out, I would have a couple drinks. Like, it was fine, but then he started drinking whiskey, and then it just was a lot. And then the one night, he ended up pulling me out of bed by my throat and strangling me 3 different times that night, one of which I was holding our son. Don't know what else I can say about that. There's a story on it somewhere on this channel. If you want to watch that story, go watch that story. Maybe I should refilm it. It's been a while. We're no longer together. We co-parent. We're in a good place co-parenting right now. We get along fine. We're not allowed to be in the same room alone unless there's an adult. We need adult supervision if we're near each other so he doesn't kill me. I don't know. He's sober, I think. He has to be sober, so that's good. He's a good dad. Like, can't say that about mine. Picking men based off of my wounds is what I think. And I had heard a theory one time. I can't remember where. I think it was in a class I was taking. But I had heard a theory that a lot of the times when we're dating, we are looking to close a loop for our inner child on what our inner child never received. So it's like we'll find somebody who is just as toxic as our parent and try to fix them in order to try to give our inner child what they never got. We'll try to fix that person because we couldn't fix our parent, right? So that our inner child can finally have that happy childhood. Except it's never going to happen. We're never going to fix that person. Other people have free will. We're never going to fix them. We need to fix the wound that the parent left behind. Me dating all of these toxic men, these couple toxic men, right? It was just a really poor attempt at me trying to subconsciously chase my dog again. I feel like this happens every freaking time. My exes were being and it's not like I was going out and choosing these men. I will tell you straight up, I am not the type of girl to go up to a man and be like, hey honey, how are you doing? No. But I feel like that attraction and like that the type of people that you choose. And actually, oh my gosh, I should find this study. There's a study done that, like, based on the wounds that you have, you could be in a room of 500 people and you will still be drawn to those people that, I can't word what I'm trying to say. You will still end up being attracted to the people whose wounds match yours. Does that make sense? So it's all about, like, that's why, do you ever notice when you're dating somebody or when you're with somebody or, like, even friends, you tend to have similar traumas sometimes, and it's not a coincidence. Like, shit, that's on energetic frequency. No, and it wasn't just because of, like, the father wound, which was very subconscious. I never intentionally was dating people like my father, as none of us truly are, right? But, and, like, if you put my exes in a lineup, none of them look similar at all. You'd be like, girl, you do not have a type. But I did. Like, it was broken, addicts, alcoholics, really mean to me, horrible to me, ruined my life, ruined every opportunity I ever had in life, made sure that I was miserable. Okay, I'm gonna stop. You get what I'm saying. But I did have a really, and I do, like, this is not a bad habit, and I have this thing in me where no matter how bad, quote unquote, I don't like that, but like how a person is, I will always see the good in them. I will always see, like, yes, they might be an addict, yes, they might be like really mean to people, yes, they might rob gas stations, but like, I'll still try to find the good qualities in them, and that used to cloud my vision. That used to override things. So it was like, okay, well, like, yeah, he might like beat the shit out of me, but at least like he's paying attention to me. Like, no, girl, come on. Like, and it was too, I'd be like, okay, well, he just had a really rough childhood. He just had a really bad time in life, right? Like, I know my one ex, my older son's father, he was adopted at a young age, and I know that can like cause a lot of trauma, right? And so I used that as an excuse a lot. And I was very, and I am still very close with his adopted mother, my kid's grandma. Did you see that? Did you see that? What the heck? That was so cool. Oh, I'm close with his adopted mother, and so like we've talked, and she in her own words has told me, like, when she adopted him, because she adopted 6 kids on top of her own 2 daughters, right? Like, I don't want to make her sound a certain way, but in her own words, she has said, like, they never told him no. And growing up, even as an adult, like, he was never told no. He was enabled very much. Every time he would, like, I vividly remember when him and I were causing trouble in high school, like, we would go to their house and, like, they would just tell us to get sober and that was it. And, like, they were never mean to us. They were never, like, hard on us. They were never, like, tough love to us. If we would have asked them for money, they probably would have gave it to us, right? So, like, they definitely enable him, and they still do. And, like, I don't agree with them on that, and that's a whole other thing. But, you know, he's got his own reason. Like, I would see the best in him and justify why he was the way he was and why he did the things he did to me. And it's like, I think because I didn't value myself and have enough love for myself, like, I was like, oh, it's okay that he did those things. Like, I get it. It's fine. I'd do those things to me too. Like, I had no love for myself. I had no respect for myself. And I would just give him chance after chance after chance. Even though, like, here I was, this young teen mom of 2 at this point. I was 19 with 2 little kids. And I had to find my own house. I had to find my own way out of his mother's basement. I had beater cars, and I was driving to whatever prison they were moving him to all over the state of Wisconsin, trying to figure out, like, how to put money on his books. And he's like, oh, I really need $20 for Cheetos. And I was like, I'm going to figure out how to get you $20 for Cheetos. I don't have money for gas, but I'm going to figure out how to get you money. Like, it was always him above everything else. Always him. For years and years and years. It was always him above my own needs. Like, obviously I put my kids first, but, like, he cheated on me, and he, like, stole my money, and he did all of these other things to me, but it didn't matter because I, like, put him first because I loved him so much. But it wasn't him that I loved. It was the void that he was fulfilling in me of a man giving me love, quote unquote love and attention, right? When I finally got some distance from him, from being in jail for so long, for so many years, then I started bartending, and I was starting to, like, realize, like, okay, like, guys do kind of like me, like, it's okay. Then I was like, okay, before you get out, like, I want your plan to be so, like, how are you going to be sober? And he laughed at me, treated it like a joke. And I was like, no, okay, like, I'm done. Like, you're not going to do this to me again. So then I immediately jumped into the next relationship, which was my twin's father. And I met him through the bar. I feel like I jumped around a lot. I told that story, like, sorry, that was all over the place. But anyway, and, like, in every situation, you see the potential in these people, right? Because you're trying to fix them, and you're like, well, I see what they could be. And with my twin's dad, like, he agreed, like, after we started getting serious, I stressed to him how, like, I needed a father figure for my boys. Obviously, this was before I had the twins, and he agreed, and I was like, I could really picture, like, us, you know, eventually someday getting married and him adopting the boys. And so at this point, my boy's dad was, like, totally out of the picture. We didn't talk at all, like, had been gone. And so I was like, yeah, he ain't coming back. Like, it's been years at this point. He had, like, offered to sign over his rights and everything. Like, he's gone. I could see it. Told me, like, and that's the thing, I was like, he told me that he could do those things and wanted to do those things. And so I got lost in it. Seeing potential in people, I don't think is a weakness until you get lost in it. And like, when you fall in love with someone for their potential, that's the downfall. That's when you're like, that's when it gets dangerous. And then, because when you fall in love with a version of somebody who doesn't exist yet and could never exist, then when you lose that person, you're grieving somebody who was never even there, right? And that's not healthy. And I feel like, you know, women often, and I'm speaking from my own experience, but also from experience of like other women that I've talked to, we date and stay for so long because of loyalty, because we are very loyal like, for me, I was loyal to a fault. And I still am. I'm a very loyal human being. Whether you're my friend or a partner or whatever. But because we're loyal, because we have hope, when we trust in you that you're going to do the things you say you're going to do, right? Because we have that parental wound, right, that we're trying to subconsciously fix and close that loop and heal our inner child by healing you. And I think a big thing for me personally is we mistake perseverance for love. And so for me, I grew up not the best childhood. I learned resilience and perseverance at a really young age, just by having no other choice, by having to make it through some really shitty situations that I was dealt as a child. And so I, by nature, am a very resilient human being. So for me, when I was going through these really shitty relationships, like a partner who just could not stay out of jail, and I had no choice but to hold down the fort by myself as a teen mom who was broke and had 2 kids and whatever, it was like, okay, yeah, I got it. I'll be your ride or die. Like, right, ride or die was such a big thing. So it's like, I'll be your ride or die. I can do this. Like, I got you, babe. Like, I'm that boss bitch. I can do it. I got you. Like, I'm resilient. Like, resilience and love felt like the same thing, but hope and resilience without boundaries is just abandoning yourself. And so then when it's over, you're just like this empty hole of a person, and you're like, wait, who the fuck am I? Actually, like, what happened? I gave all this time, energy, effort into a person who took it all from me and just kept taking and didn't actually care, right? I would always tell myself, like, oh, he just needs support. He's gonna change. It's gonna be okay. He just had a hard life, but I'm gonna support him, and nobody else is supporting him. I'm gonna support him. He was trying. Bitch, no, he was not. I'm convinced I will meet a guy who shows me what trying is. I have yet to find one, but I know they're out there because I see them on the internet, and if it's on the internet, you know it's true. I just want to remind you that potential without actions is not what's going to give you that genuine apology or do anything. Actions are what do those things. So watch actions, not promises. Ask yourself, if this person that I'm dating or that I'm seeing stays exactly how they are for 10 years, am I okay with that? Can I stay with that? Am I good with this person being like this for 10 years? Obviously, you can anticipate a little bit of growth, I would hope. But can you be with them as they are for 10 years? If not, then you're dating for potential. Then get out. You should be content with however they are right now as they are, not wanting to fix or change anything about them at all. If you are, then you know that's your person. If not, you're trying to fix someone. That's not your job. You are not here to fix human beings unless you're a doctor. Like, then sorry, I take that back. Oh, I do still believe in potential. But I no longer make it my responsibility to carry that weight for other people. My own potential, right? What can I do in life? Who can I be? How far can I bring this, whatever project I'm working on, or, you know, whatever. My own potential is what I'm responsible for. Other people's potential, not my responsibility, not my weight to carry. Do not date potential, because loving someone and carrying them are 2 very different things. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Kinsey Rose, and I would love to see you next time. Bye.